David Goggins is someone who has been a major influence on my life in so many ways that it's almost embarrassing to admit it. This is someone who thrives on the fact that he is the one and only David Goggins. He teaches you how to reach your full potential and reach heights that you didn't even find imaginable, like things that you would never even be able to fathom for yourself. His saying is, callous your mind and stay hard. And just by those 6 words, I've manufactured my entire life around that saying. When I think I can't do something, I just stick it in my brain and say, callous your mind and stay hard. It's what keeps me going. It's what keeps, it's how I operate. But David Goggins wasn't always that person, and I'm going to tell you how he transformed himself into that person. He used to be a scared kid from New York who lived with his mom and his abusive dad. His dad, he didn't believe in school. It left David so far behind in school once he did finally go to school, which was in the 8th grade. He was homeschooled until the 8th grade. And his dad believed that because he owned a skating rink and a bar, which David and his mom worked in as well. They would work the skating rink from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. until it closed, and then they would go straight to the bar and work the bar all night, and then clean up at 3 a.m. and then get home at 4:30 a.m. So they had this crazy schedule that David had to learn from an early age. But David, even after all that, after his mom and dad divorced, him and his mom relocated to a small town in Indiana where the KKK was still prevalent even in the mid-90s. It was as soon as that. But David, he also had this horrible stuttering problem. It was almost crippling. He couldn't talk to anyone without getting so anxious and stuttering that it just embarrassed him to the point where he didn't want to talk to anyone. And being in that school, being the only black kid in the entire school, and having this horrible stuttering problem, David was just completely isolated, had nothing other than his own insecurities to keep him busy. And David, he went on to the Air Force after high school and developed a sickle cell disorder. It's not the same as sickle cell anemia, but it can still kill you. And he couldn't swim. He went through training and he couldn't swim. And this guy, his commanding officer found out about his sickle cell disorder and told him that he could still complete the training because it's not as serious of an issue as they had thought. But David then, he told him that he was scared and he wanted discharged and he wanted out. And so they did. They honorably discharged him and then he left. And he felt so ashamed of himself that he let his own fear completely dictate something that was his dream for his entire life. Something that he had always wanted to do. David, after that, he went from 165 pounds to 297 pounds in less than a year. And then he realized that he knew what he had to do to get back in. So he joined the Navy. He lost the weight, joined the Navy, became a Navy SEAL. The same guy became a Navy SEAL. And after his stint in the SEALs, he went to the Army Rangers. Oh, and during his SEAL training, he did the same SEAL training, the Hell Week that they call it, 3 times in a row, just to show that he could do it. 3 times in a row. And he had broken feet the whole time he was doing it, and the whole time he was going through it, he was just saying, callous your mind, stay hard, and keep going. And just, that was the first time I ever heard about him. And ever since then, I've just been completely immersed myself in that lifestyle. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.